Welcome to the Summer Wellness Series, where we talk all things wellness, feeling good, and how to be your best self this summer.
This series is sponsored by the gorgeous Ringwood Hall Hotel and Spa and their Summer Delight Spa Day package. It includes 4 hours spa access, a summer cocktail on arrival, and a 50-minute treatment. Head to their website, ringwoodhallhotel.com, for all the details.
We've got 5 amazing episodes for you, and on each episode, we've got a different guest. We've got a fitness expert, a therapist, a confidence coach, a nutritionist, and a cold water expert.
You are going to love these, so sit back, relax, and get ready to be your best self. So another episode and another amazing guest today, and this one is all the way over in Dubai. We have got the lovely Kate on the line. Hello, Kate.
Hello, ladies. How are we?
We're good. I mean, we'd be better if we were in Dubai.
I know. Although you've just been saying it's very hot out there at the moment.
Yeah, we're hitting 100 degrees and high humidity.
Oh, my Lord.
That's insane.
Yeah.
You need to stay inside with that air conditioning. That's what you need to do.
Exactly.
So, Kate, thank you so much for coming on today. We're very excited to talk to you because you are a supplements and self-care expert, and we want to know about the supplements.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So first of all, let's talk a little bit about you, Kate. What's your background and how did you get into this? How did you end up in Dubai?
Yeah, I get asked this often. I think often when you're, advising people about their health and such, it's important to give people like your background on how you got here and why I do what I do. So my career actually started in pharmaceuticals. I've always had a real innate passion about health and well-being, and I've had this real strong belief from quite a young age that we all came here to live our healthiest, happiest life. Like, that is our divine right. And I started at like as young as 15 when I started really like researching and looking into health on a quest to find what I term the elixir of life. Like, what is it that really supports us stepping, into our best self so we can really live and enjoy life to the fullest? And part of this journey started with me initially going into pharmaceuticals and studying like health and well-being and medicine from a pharmaceutical perspective. And during my 4 to 5 years in the pharmaceutical industry, I made this observation that all acute and chronic illnesses in the body stem from a vitamin and mineral deficiency in the body. So rather than us always trying to mask the symptoms, so as an example, if you've got a headache, take paracetamol to dull the pain. Why don't we look at focusing on the nutrients that we may be deficient in that's causing that headache in the first place, so getting really to the root cause. And this really led me to my path to move from pharmaceuticals into functional medicine and naturopathic nutrition. And that's where I've been for the past around 15 years now. I've worked with some of the leading supplement brands in the world, did that for a number of years. And then around 3 years ago, decided to set up my own business, which, a real pillar of my own business is educating people, and elevating them and empowering them to know that they are their own greatest healer. And when you're equipped with the right knowledge, you can really begin to heal yourself and take your own health and well-being into your own hands. And I try and make it like as enjoyable and as fun for people as possible. And that is really the pillars from what my business was created on. And what I'm still doing today.
I was reading the other day that your body is actually, its biggest function is to heal itself. And I guess if you've got all the right nutrients and all the right, minerals and vitamins in you, it's probably, it's easier for your body to heal, and probably quicker too.
Exactly this. And this is where I use the analogy of your body can either be in survival mode or thrive mode. We'll tip into survival. So imagine like a pendulum. We'll tip into survival mode when the body is lacking in vitamins, key nutrients, vitamins, minerals. And then because the body's number one priority is to keep you alive, it will start to conserve the vitamins and minerals in your body for critical bodily functions, such as your lung function, your brain function, your heart beating, because if these don't work, we're not going to live for very long. And then what it will do is switch off certain vitamins and minerals, as an example, to your hair follicle. So people often find when they're like losing hair or the hair is thinning, it's indicative that the body is tipping into survival mode and the body's conserving key vitamins and minerals for the main bodily functions. However, if we work with the body and start topping up our vitamins and minerals with the right supplements in the right quality, which I'm sure is something we'll touch on today, we go into thrive mode. And that's when the body has ample vitamins and minerals to not just support our heart beating, our digestion, our brain function, but for our hair to grow, for our energy to be strong, for our sleep to be good. Even things like anxiety, low mood, chronic fatigue, all linked to vitamin and mineral imbalances in the body. And these are getting more and more common due to the decreasingly nutrient-dense food chain that we have access to, which is one of, not the only, but one of the reasons that's contributing to increased vitamin and mineral deficiencies in people's health.
So let's talk supplements, because there are so many different supplements, aren't there, out there? And it's really hard to kind of know which ones you should be taking every day or every now and again. I mean, both Laura and I take supplements. We're on completely different ones, we've discovered. So what are the things that, if you're starting out, you don't take anything, what are the basics that you should be taking every day?
Yeah, this is a brilliant question, and I appreciate that the supplements market is so confusing and overwhelming. But the beauty of taking certain vitamins and minerals together is vitamins and minerals work like an orchestra in the body. So as an example, although vitamin D will work very well in the body taken on its own, as would B vitamins, as would magnesium, when we take certain vitamins and minerals together, they work what we call synergistically. So they enhance the benefits of one another. So we create that harmonic effect in the body, as if all those vitamins and minerals are different parts of an orchestra within the body. And what I created when I started my own business was a bundle of what I term the fundamental 5 vitamins that people should be taking every day to support their health and well-being. These should be the foundation of their daily nutritional intake. And this is also largely from what I observed in pharmaceuticals, that a lot of common ailments were a result or a manifestation of these particular vitamins and minerals being lacking in the body. So the first one, which I'm sure people are familiar with because it's a bit of a buzzword on social media, but that is the miracle mineral magnesium. And there's been a number of studies done that show around 75 to 80% of people in the USA are deficient in this very important mineral. And I imagine that's very similar in the UK as well. And the reason so many of us are deficient in this critical mineral is, in an ideal world, our soils would be mineral rich. So there'd be a lot of the mineral magnesium in our soils. That therefore goes into our fruits and vegetables, because fruits and vegetables are only as nutrient dense as the soils from which they grew. And then we're taking that in through our dietary sources. But as we've seen, and as this has really accelerated, unfortunately, in the past 10 to 15 years, over-farming, overuse of pesticides, flying fruit and vegetables over boundaries, over countries and continents, the vitamin and mineral count of our food chain is drastically diminishing. And we've also seen an increase in processed food, convenience food, microwaving food, wrapping foods in plastic. So it's all really affecting the nutrient content of our food, and particularly magnesium. And then there's a double-edged sword to being deficient in magnesium. When we are in a stressed state, Now, again, I think most of us, unfortunately, are living in what's called our sympathetic nervous system. So our sympathetic nervous system is like the fight or flight when we're in an energy of stress. And our parasympathetic is our rest and digest mode. But the reason so many of us are living in our sympathetic nervous system state is we're constantly on the go. And that doesn't mean you have to be like having a massive argument with your partner. It can just be that feeling of we wake up, we might go straight onto our phone. If we're not physically active, we're mentally active. You know, we've lost the ability to daydream on a train now. We just all sit there and endlessly scroll. So the more we're in our sympathetic nervous system, we actually pass magnesium when we go to the bathroom. We urinate magnesium out. So the more stressed our body is, the more we deplete ourselves of magnesium, which is a mineral that we're already deficient in anyway. And then this will physically manifest in the body as anxiety, low mood, poor sleep, low energy, irritability, hormonal imbalances in women, twitchy eyes, leg cramps, stomach cramps, headaches, migraines. And this is something I've strongly observed when I was in pharmaceuticals. And it's the one supplement that I recommend to people if they're really reluctant to take supplements, they're suspicious of supplements, whether they actually work. I will recommend a good quality magnesium to them. And for most people, they will see a significant difference in their energy levels, you know, their levels of anxiety, their mood, when they're consistently supplementing with magnesium each day.
Kate, I have to say, you've literally just listed all the things that I am with that. I definitely need some more magnesium. When you said twitchy eye, I had a twitchy eye for about a month and a half last year. I just looked at Becky, I was like, that's me. I need some magnesium.
And it's your body's way of communicating with you. And I remember when I was a sales rep on the road and I was driving like sometimes 1,500 miles a week and you're driving appointments, meetings, and I constantly had this twitchy eye. And magnesium is the one I really felt in my pharmaceutical days. If we could prescribe good quality magnesium in the right dose, we would see such improvements in so many health conditions. So that is the one. Also, like behavioural disorders in children, ADHD. We all, you know, a lot of people see improvements with magnesium supplementation to assist with these. So that's your number one. And then number two of the fundamental 5 daily supplements is your vitamin, what I call a vitamin B complex. So vitamin B12 has become very popular. Also, you know, it's well known that if you're on a vegan or plant-based diet, you should supplement with B12 because you tend to get B12 from good quality red meat, although we've seen a diminishing quality of the meat that, you know, available to the meat quality available to us as well. But there's also B6, which is really important for serotonin production, which is a happy hormone that keeps our mood strong. B5, which again is really important for energy production in the body. So rather than just taking a B vitamin in isolation, such as B12, I 99% of the time will recommend the client take the B complex. And again, this goes back to saying that although taking one B vitamin, such as B12, will bring benefits to the body, because B vitamins work like a family in the body, by taking a B complex, which is a combination of the B vitamins, you'll get a much more holistic benefit in the body, particularly when it comes to energy. B vitamins are really, really fundamental to metabolic function. So like our metabolism, our ability to maintain a healthy weight, cognition and our focus, and also our energy, and definitely hormonal balance for women. And again, the beauty of taking B vitamins alongside magnesium is those two work like soulmates in the body to regulate the central nervous system. So although it's beneficial to take magnesium in isolation and B vitamins in isolation, if you take the two together, you're going to get enhanced benefits. So those are the first two that are really, really important. And then number three, which is really important for people living in the UK especially, and colder climates, is vitamin D. So our sunshine vitamin. And it's a vitamin that in an ideal world, we get from the sun between the hours of 12 and 4 when we have bare skin. We can't absorb it through our clothing, unfortunately, when we have bare skin exposed to the sun. our face is a really good solar panel. So if we've got our face exposed, that as are the soles of our feet and the palms of our hands, these are really powerful solar panels on the body for absorbing vitamin D. But because of the climate in the UK, but believe it or not, vitamin D deficiency is huge in Dubai because a lot of people here wear traditional dress who are local people, so they will cover a lot of their skin up. Or there is a high expat community here, but most people stay indoors because they're at work during the day or because it's too hot like it is now. And then the sun goes down very early in Dubai, around 6:30, 7. So when people tend to venture out in the evening, the sun has gone down. But one interesting fact for people living in the UK when it comes to vitamin D is that for 6 months of the year, so from October to March, the sun's rays hit the earth at an altitude that it's impossible to synthesize vitamin D from the sun. So that's why during the months of October to March, we see a high increase in seasonal affective disorder, which is depression linked to lack of vitamin D. And that really can be as simple as taking a good quality vitamin D at a dose of 2,000 to 4,000 a day, international units a day, throughout winter to keep our mood stable. And it's also very, very important for our immune function and our bone health as well. But here comes the catch. Vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin that goes, when we take it in a supplement, it goes into the liver. When it goes into the liver, it needs to be activated to bring the benefits to the body for energy, immunity, mood. It needs magnesium levels at an adequate level in the body to be activated. So if you're one of the 75 to 80% of people who are deficient in magnesium and you're taking a vitamin D supplement, you're very unlikely to be getting the benefits you're looking for from the vitamin D supplement because it's not able to be activated in the body. And this is why, taking vitamins and minerals and supplements, it is a science. And there are certain vitamins and minerals we need to take in combination for optimal benefits. So that's number 3. So we've got our magnesium, our B vitamin, our vitamin D. And then number 4 is omega-3 essential fatty acid. The clue from the name, it is essential for human health. And the human body cannot produce omega-3 itself. It has to be taken in through our diet or in a good quality supplement. Now, one of the reasons I'm very vocal about people supplementing with omega-3, especially those that live in the UK, is that good quality dietary sources of omega-3, well, the best ones, are algae, seaweed, which isn't very common in the Western diet. In Asian cuisines it is, but not typically in like the Western European or UK diet. And then the second one is wild oily fish. And the reason that they have a high omega-3 content is the fish, when they're wild in the rivers and the oceans and the lakes, they're eating algae, that's their diet, thus absorbing the omega-3 from the algae, and that's how the fish contains a high level of omega-3. What we've seen in recent years is 2 things that have really affected this. The increased vegan and plant-based movement, where people choose not to eat fish, or people just don't like the taste, just don't like to consume fish. And secondly, the majority of our fish in supermarkets and such is farmed. And farmed fish, even if it's organic farmed fish, will be more than likely being fed synthetic pellets, not wild algae. So if you were to put a fish from the supermarket under a microscope compared to a wild oily fish from the Mediterranean, as an example, their omega-3 content is going to be significantly different. And this essential fatty acid is so important for the human body on so many levels that we could literally do a 5-hour podcast on omega-3 and all the data of how important it is for the body. But to pick out the most important ones, it is brain function. So 60% of the human brain is composed of an omega-3 fat, which is the abbreviated name is DHA. So it's a fat that unfortunately we don't get from chocolate or pizza, but we get from this specific form of omega-3 found in seaweed, algae and oily fish. And what I found working in pharmaceuticals was the increased rates of depression, Alzheimer's, dementia were all linked to omega-3 deficiency because it was getting decreasingly dense in a typical Western diet. And the brain cell, they've done studies where they've looked at the brain cells of people with brain disorders like dementia and Alzheimer's or depression, and they found omega-3 deficiency in the brain. And this can also be seen in pregnant women. So when pregnant women get what's known as baby brain, so they get a bit forgetful, unclear-headed, and they also may even get postnatal depression. This is because when you're growing a baby inside you, the baby takes so much omega-3 from the mother to create the baby's eyes and the baby's brain. So if the mother's already depleted, it's going to deplete her further, and that will begin to show in the mother, like I said, symptoms like baby brain and potentially postnatal depression. It can also increase inflammation in the body, so sore joints, aging skin, dry eyes, acne. These are all linked to omega-3 deficiency in the body. And then to take it down to a cellular level, the billions of cells that our bodies are made up of, these cells need to be kept permeable and squishy for nutrients to get in the cell and toxins to get out the cell. And there's two things required to keep that cell membrane beautifully like moist and permeable, and that's like water, hydration levels in the body. That's like, if we didn't consume water for more than 3 days, we would die. But also to lubricate that cell membrane, we do need adequate levels of omega-3 in the body. So I feel it's also very fundamental to hormonal health in women. I will always increase omega-3 intake for people with like PCOS, PMS, endometriosis, perimenopause and menopause. And going back to how these vitamins and minerals work in synergy in the body, vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin, as is vitamin E, as is vitamin A, as is vitamin K. So for a fat-soluble vitamin, it needs essential fatty acids present in the body. So if you take vitamin D alongside omega-3, it will enhance the absorption of the vitamin D in the body, and then the magnesium will activate the vitamin D. So is that all making sense? I know it's a lot of information.
Yeah, we are literally both sat here with notepads writing everything down.
I don't think I've got any omega-3 in me. I'm just going to say it. I don't like fish. I don't eat seaweed. There's no wonder my brain function's not great.
And a beautiful testimonial that I often get from people, I stock a beautiful omega-3 called Purest Omega, known as the purest omega-3 supplement in the world, which is really amazing. And when my clients take it, we get different reviews, but one of the main reviews is their skin, their hair and their skin. And, that's what the Mediterranean diet, which is rich in these, traditionally is rich in these omega-3 essential fatty acids. It's really what keeps us young. It keeps our brains sharp, it keeps our joints healthy, it keeps our skin, anti-aging our skin, really good for hair health. So yeah, omega-3 essential fatty acids, like I said, the clue is in the name, essential for human health, and you'll further enhance its benefits in the body by taking it alongside your vitamin D, as well as your magnesium and your vitamin B. And then the fifth and final one is currently the most Googled supplement online, and it's probiotics. So probiotics have become a real buzzword, as well as magnesium in recent years. We've seen, a lot of these yogurt drinks coming onto the market, kombucha, kefir, and people are really understanding how looking after our gut health, I call the gut the epicenter of the body, is transformative for our health and well-being. And again, looking at the Western diet, a lot of other cultures have things like kimchi, sauerkraut, and kombucha as like staple parts of their diet. which are natural sources of probiotics, or like raw milk, which is very, very difficult to get hold of in the UK. Most milk in the UK is pasteurised. Good quality probiotic yogurt. Again, most mass-produced yogurt is pasteurised. The majority of it has to be to get it onto the supermarket shelves. And the pasteurisation process kills a lot of the healthy good bacteria in these products. And also things like stress, which is, arguably the number one killer or causer of illness and aging and decline in the body. Stress, alcohol, sugars, processed foods, these all really disrupt the natural gut microbiome. So what most people will do is go online and source a probiotic with the hope it will improve their gut health and thus improve their overall health and well-being. I don't work with just probiotics. The fundamental 5 supplements that I work with is a probiotic combined with a prebiotic, and I'll explain the difference between the two. A probiotic is the good bacteria your stomach needs to function optimally. So in an ideal world, our gut microbiome, we have a huge digestive tract and gut microbiome within the body. And it's majority good bacteria. Will always have an element of bad bacteria in there, but the majority of the gut microbiome is good bacteria. So that's really good for our immunity, our skin, also really good for like a lot of our brain focus and clarity comes from the gut, bloating, digestion. But when we just take a probiotic, which is like a living good living bacteria, if that drops into the gut microbiome and the gut microbiome isn't that healthy, it can really struggle to populate and colonize the gut and thus bring the health benefits to the body that we're looking for. An ideal way to consume probiotics is to take a prebiotic alongside. And a prebiotic is like food. It's like fertilizer for the probiotic. So when the probiotic lands in the digestive tract, it can feed on the prebiotic, and thus colonize and populate the gut. Prebiotics in dietary sources are things like asparagus, onion, artichoke. But if you were taking it in a supplement form, you ideally want the pre and probiotics in the same capsule, and that's what's going to bring you optimal benefits. And by supporting our gut health on a daily basis with a good quality pre and probiotic, that is going to be absolutely transformative for our overall health and well-being, and also help us, absorb the other supplements better when we take them. So to recap, the fundamental 5, to answer your initial question, is number 1, miracle mineral magnesium. Number 2, a vitamin B complex. With B vitamins, think busy vitamins. They're the ultimate vitamin to fuel our busy and demanding lifestyles and keep our energy levels strong. Number 3 is vitamin D, our sunshine vitamin, which especially in the UK from October to March, we must be supplementing with. And then I would take a lower dose throughout the summer months. So 2,000 to 4,000 international units throughout October to March. And then March to October, you can take around 2,000 international units a day. Number 4 is your omega-3 essential fatty acids, either in a fish form or an algae form if you're vegan. And number 5 is a probiotic, ideally combined with a prebiotic for optimal benefits.
I mean, me and Laura are going to be ordering all of this by the bucket.
No, literally, tons of it.
Literally, let's bathe in it.
Brilliant.
Kate, can we talk mushrooms? Because I've heard a lot about mushrooms, and I've been sort of seeing a lot on TikTok about them. And actually, my dad was very ill a few years ago, and I did a lot of research into what mushrooms can do for the body and everything. And I got him on some really weird mushroom tea that tasted horrendous actually, but I read how amazing it's meant to be. Tell us about mushrooms.
So mushrooms, they're a huge hype at the moment, and they really are worth the hype. And they've been used in Chinese medicine for thousands of years for both acute and chronic illnesses. And the reason they're so incredibly beneficial for the human health is that we share more of our DNA with mushrooms than we do plants. Even penicillin comes from a mushroom source. And the way the immune system works in mushrooms is the same as how the immune system works in a human body. So this is why one of the main pillars of mushrooms is, as you just mentioned that with your father, is immune function. Really, either as a cure, if people have got ill, and helping to strengthen the immune system to hopefully cure any acute or chronic illness in the body, or also as a preventative for keeping the immune system super robust and help preventing illness in the body. Also, mushrooms are a good dietary source of vitamin D, and also an immune supportive nutrient known as beta-glucans as well. And then, there are a lot of medicinal mushrooms out there. And although the vast majority of them contain data for supporting immune function, others have more specific benefits. For example, lion's mane, which is our number one selling mushroom, and I'm seeing lots of it online. And this is particularly amazing for cognitive function, for focus, which I think so many people, including myself, struggle with these days. My brain will jump between topics constantly. I think unfortunately TikTok culture is really, and which I personally choose not to go on it, is fueling the reduction in a concentration span. And lion's mane has even been shown to regrow brain cells. And I think preserving our brain function is so important, because we're living in a generation where we're constantly frying our brains with technology, phones, laptops, iPods, etc. And also there's been a lot of very powerful data come out showing lion's mane's effectiveness for ADHD as well. And the beauty of lion's mane, it works pretty instantaneously. So people will take it that morning, and within 1 to 2 hours, see an improvement in their focus, their energy, their motivation. I've seen a lot of people stop drinking coffee. Not because that was a conscious choice. They started taking lion's mane, and the switch to get that focus and that instant energy from a cup of coffee has gone, because that's what the lion's mane, in a much healthier way, is providing for the body.
This is all so fascinating. We're literally hanging off your every word. We could listen to you talk. Your knowledge is absolutely incredible.
Oh, you're so kind. Thank you. And it's so nice to share it with you ladies, because my real vision and mission with the supplements industry is two things. To clear out the crap in the industry, because there are so many brands out there that are selling rubbish supplements at a time when we need supplements more than ever, because our food chain is drastically decreasing and our lifestyles are getting so increasingly demanding. We're seeing this widening nutritional void. So until we go back to living a more stress-free lifestyle and a more nutritious, clean, natural food chain, we need to fill in the voids with supplements. And secondly, to give people real clarity. So they're investing their money in the optimal way to get the main benefits for their health, because it's so confusing, to go into a store, pick something up that's on a penny sale, then pick something off that you're seeing an Instagram ad for, and you're just taking a bit of a disjointed protocol of supplements. So this is why I try and educate people on the fundamental side, to give them real clarity on how best to take supplements.
Kate, just before we end things, where can people find you if they want to, either buy some of your supplements or just have a look at what you do? Where can they find you?
Yeah, for sure. So the two best places are my Instagram account, which is I am Kate Living, and then my website, which is katelivingsupplements.com. We distribute worldwide now. And if people are interested in the fundamental side that I spoke about, this is on my website as what's called the Woman of Wellness bundle. It's actually ideal for men as well. So I have a lot of clients getting the Woman of Wellness bundle and then sharing it with their partner, which is absolutely brilliant to do. That's a bundle that I curated that includes the fundamental side supplements.
Amazing. Kate, thank you so much for coming on today. It's been fascinating. It really has. And get your sun cream on as well before you go outside again.
Yeah, don't melt, Kate. Don't melt.
Thank you, Kate.
Thanks, Kate. Lovely to speak with you.
Thanks so much. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode. We hope you enjoyed it.
Remember, there are 4 other episodes, so go and check them out.